Here we go. Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, classic lesson known classics. This is episode number 3279, Doubleshot number 3173. I have a IDW trade and a trade from Marvel Comics. First up we have is Usagi Yojimbo Origins, volume number 3, The Dragon Below Conspiracy, collecting issues 13 to 18 of the original Usagi Yojimbo series from the 1980s. Basically, this is the story where Usagi finds out a plan to assassinate the Shogun. He kind of works some ninjas per se in this book. This book is also worthy for having where Gin has his horn cut off. I mistakenly thought it was actually Usagi did it. It was actually a pig criminal who did that during a duel they had that chopped off his horn. There's a little bit of the horn left, and it's still there. It has not grown back at all. But that's the key thing about the story is how Gin's horn got the way it is. So if you're curious in current stories, how did Gin decide to be a rhino? How did this horn get that way? Read this story. This story is just pure awesome at its finest. It's an excellent story. Stanton got this excellent job with this thing, and I give this book a 10 out of 10. Really good. Also stuff with Tomei in there. It's just so good. And can you believe at this point, the ongoing went on for about a year and a half at this point? Yeah. The original ongoing is, yes. And did you know that IDW did reprint this as a 7-issue limited series in color? Yeah, the book is actually in color because the original issues were actually in black and white. Here's a good example of this. Yep. Yeah, originally I was in black and white. Alright, next up we have is Captain America First Vengeance. This collects the 4-issue miniseries for First Vengeance, written by, if you're curious, Fred Van Lin. Artwork by Luke Ross, Neil Edwards, Crime Lab Studios, Daniel Green, Javier Fernandez, Andy Smith, Tom Palmer, and Richard Everson. And excuse me, a lot of this book is basically just, they say it's a prequel to the Marvel Studios film. It's not very much prologue per se. It's basically some of the stuff that takes place during the course of the movie, like him working with the Howling Commandos. Basically, for the Howling Commandos is basically how they got to where they were in the movie. So, do I think a lot of stuff in this book is ignored in the movie? Not really. We start with Cap basically looking like on a mission. We do see where you see his late mother Sarah, his mother on his deathbed, her deathbed, and we see him in September 1930 getting the crap beat. This was of course basically about 11 years prior to him being drafted. Yep. And we see him attempting to basically, like in flashbacks, see him fighting Nazis, of course. Actually, it's more like Hydra. Yes, Hydra. Excuse me. So, and Steve has attempted to do it, and of course you have this Iron Man rip-off. It seems like, yeah, because it does show up basically because in the movie it was mentioned that he actually had attempted to join the army multiple times, but they kept telling him no because he's too thin. And there's stuff related to Thor. Yeah, there's actually stuff for Thor movie. The comic does feature something that the movie never did. Feature Adolf Hitler. Yep. Yeah, there's stuff with Johann Smith, and there's also Zola. Yeah. And we have Dr. Inkenstein with his family prior to their deaths at the hands of the Nazis before he fled to the U.S. So you could kind of say the book is... I would definitely buy this comic being semi-canon to the movie, because it does explain some stuff basically happens in the first movie. Does it spoil the movie? No, it does not. Yes, I know the movie came out 14 years ago now. I saw it in theaters. This comic was was really good. Give it a 10 out of 10. Really good here. Okay? So yeah, that's the epic review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up we have is more beginning after the end. Okay? Thanks, Theo. Bye.